Okay, so Wednesdays are one of my fullest days, and I wanted to show you what that actually looks like a real actual Wednesday, not the highlight reel version. So this is gonna be a long video, okay? Morning that I head to my language school for a couple of hours of self-study and speaking practice. And honestly, this has been one of the best parts of being here. I have been studying Korean for over 9 years, and this is my first time actually living in Korea. So I made a decision early on, full immersion, no shortcuts, and I can already feel the difference. My language school is not paying me to do an ad, but they're really good. So feel free to reach out to me if you're looking for recommendations. But I will not be posting them in this video. Sorry, guys. Anyways, so after I'm done with school, I hop on the bus. About a 40-minute ride to Hyehwa-dong, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about Hyehwa-dong in a bit. So I come to Hyehwa-dong for PT as well. Now, some of you know I had a shoulder issue. I talked about resolving most of the pain with acupuncture. Go watch that video if you missed it. Because I already paid for 10 Pilates sessions, so here I am just stretching my life away. My trainer is really good though. One of my goals this year is to be more flexible and practice stretching. So I'm actually thinking about extending my time here. So that tells you something. Now, let's talk about Hyehwa-dong a little bit before I tell you about lunch. Now, Hyehwa-dong is one of Seoul's oldest neighborhoods, and every single time I come here, I have a moment. I can't really put into words how being in Hyehwa-dong makes me feel. I think it's one of those few places that actually held on to its soul. Now, I was born in the 80s, right? I grew up in Nigeria. There's something about being Hyehwa-dong that kind of reminds me of the Nigeria I grew up with. It's like you're feeling this nostalgia of the present while in the present. Now, while a lot of Seoul was rebuilt and modernized at a pace that's honestly breathtaking, Hyehwa-dong kept something, right? The narrow streets are still there, the old architecture, the independent theaters. Are you kidding me? There's so many of them there. You can actually go see a lot of shows. The university energy, it has this layered, lived-in quality that you feel the second you arrive. Culturally, it's been an arts and theater district for decades, and historically it's tied to traditional Korean medicine that has a deep roots here, and also Seoul National University Hospital, which is one of the most prestigious medical institutions in the country, and it sits right in this neighborhood, and that's where I work. And speaking of work, I am here as a Fulbright U.S. Presidential STEM Scholar based at Seoul National University. I'm doing research on cancer survivorship and quality of life. So I'm just here doing things I love in a place I love. All right, back to Hyehwa-dong. There's actually a song that lives in this neighborhood, Hyehwa-dong, by the late Park Boram. May her soul rest in peace. And she recorded it as part of the Reply 1988 OST, and it's one of the songs that just stops you. Reply 1988 is one of my favorite K-dramas. It's about old friends, narrow alleyways, subway trains, and how much we forget as we grow up about going back to the place and feeling time collapse. If you haven't heard it, go listen after this and listen knowing that we lost her in 2024. The song hits differently now, but it's also just makes Hyehwa-dong even feel more layered, like the neighborhood itself carries all of that. It's just everything, and Hyehwa-dong is exactly that neighborhood. Anyways, the fact that I get to do my Fulbright work here in this neighborhood, in this city I fell in love with from a distance, still gets me every time. And I keep saying I'm in Korea and it never gets old, because it genuinely never gets old. Alright, back to lunch. I told this was going to be a long video, right? Now, after PT, it's lunch. It's a little bit late, but my trainer recommended this Japanese spot nearby, and I had to try it. Small place, quiet, the kind of restaurant that takes its food seriously. I had abalone over rice. The rice cooked in butter and broth, Japanese style. And listen, the rice alone, the rice alone, y'all. Sometimes the side thing is the main thing, and that rice was the main thing. All right. As I was eating, I noticed that the restaurant was packing up for lunch. Now, here's something I love about Korea that took some adjusting coming from America. Restaurants here do not play about their break time, and I mean that respectfully. Some close from 2 to 4, others 3 to 5. Shut it down, they just shut it down. The rest, maybe eat together, maybe nap. Back home in the US, lunchtime is peak business hours, and restaurants are open from morning straight through the night. Here, many don't even open until lunch, and they take a full break mid afternoon, and they even close early. Honestly, I respect it. People need rest. Even though we talk about Korea's Bali Bali culture, I think the culture just built that in, and I think we could learn something from them. Now, after lunch, I walked back to the office, back to those Hyehwa-dong streets, past the theaters, past the cafes, and I sat down and get back to work. I'll show you a little peek at where I work. But just so you know, you have to be very mindful of noise levels because you're sharing space with people who are focused, and that is just a culture. No loud phone calls, no unnecessary noise. You're present and you're respectful. My seatmate is very lovely though. We get to work together. We actually had a really good chat today. And she's getting married later this year, and we talked about her wedding plans and some of the projects we're working on together. I think those little human moments in the middle of a workday, that's actually what makes a placement like this feel more than just, work. Anyways, I stayed until about 8 p.m. because I wanted to, because I could. I'm a Fulbright Scholar, so here I don't do research I care about. If that doesn't make you want to stay late at the office, especially when you got two kids, I don't know what to tell you. If you know, you know. I made it home though. Kids were good. Another Wednesday done. If you're curious about the Fulbrights, about life and so about the research, about any of it, drop your questions below. I read everything and let me know what you want to see next. Because there's so much more to show you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.